Hey, in today's video, we'll be having 3 different stories. So, let's go. So the first story begins. Greed. Right now, there is a thin man in a skin-tight black suit sitting in your closet. His bony knees bent to his chest. His spidery white fingers wrapped around his ankles. He sits there since you began hearing this. His name is Greed. Can you hear his breathing yet? Now that you are aware of his existence, if you open your closet door, you will find him sitting right there. Immediately, his expression face will smile, and his sharp green eyes will look into yours. You may open and close the closet as much as you wish, and you may leave him there as long as you like, but he will never go away, and every time you look inside your closet, he will be there. His glassy eyes following yours. Only you will see him. Don't attempt to tell anyone, or they will question your sanity. If you ignore Greed, gradually he'll take over your existence. You will see him sitting in the back of your car as you drive home from a late night work. As you turn the lights off downstairs and you run up to safety in your bedroom, he will be running behind you. Even if you do not turn to look, you will hear a second pair of steps right behind you. There is only one way to get rid of yourself of Greed. At exactly midnight of any night of the year, apart from Christmas Eve, sit in front of the closet with a candle in your hand. You must be alone, the lights must be off, and you must place a little tea candle in between you and the closet door. Without opening the door, repeat this verse. In return for my sanity, I give you my soul. Use it as you wish, but please leave me alone. The closet door will swing open, releasing Greed, whose eyes are already glaring into your face. He will step out of the closet and accept your offer, and place your offering in his right coat pocket. Then he will stand up. Once it's done, he will retreat, the doors opening themselves for him. He will never return, and from that moment on, your life will be perfect. You will effortlessly become rich beyond belief. You will find and marry the love of your life and achieve anything your heart desires. You will never become sick, and you will die warm and comfortable in your bed, surrounded by the ones you love. But once your eyes have finally closed and your lungs stop breathing, you will meet Greed again. He will take you to visit your loved ones, who you have left behind, and you will watch helplessly as he plays his game with them. He will take the sharpest knife from their kitchen and hide in their closet. Next time they open it, he will slaughter and devour them. He will repeat this little ritual of his until everyone you've ever loved is lying in a puddle of their own blood. After he has finally finished his twisted game, he will take your soul from his right top pocket, which you have offered him, and he will swallow it. You will now become a part of him and a part of his game forever. However, if you take the option to ignore him, he will never leave, and every once in a while, if you turn over into the direction of your partner in bed, instead of seeing them or their beautiful face, your eyes will meet his, and that evil smile will be there, stretched over the row of sharp teeth. So, choose wisely. At night, when I was little, I would hear screaming and yelling, scratching and banging. Every time I heard these sounds, I would run to my dad and shake him awake, and he would assure me that it was nothing, and to stay right here, to calm down. He would leave for a few minutes and come back, looking a little bit stressed, telling me it was okay. Every night this happened. He told me he couldn't drive me the next morning. I never connected these two dots. Every few nights, the same thing would happen. One night, when I was 12, I went looking for the cause of these noises. Slowly, I approached the cabinet near my room. As I reached out for it, my dad yelled at me, asking me why I was awake. I've never seen him so mad. I cried, telling him the monster was yelling. He told me to go to bed. There was no monster. While laying in bed, the yells got louder, so loud it hurt. And then it stopped. It just stopped. Once again, he couldn't drive me to school the next morning. While talking to my friends, they told me that these kids went missing, and showing up days later, I froze when they described the kids. All of their features were like mine. When I came home, I told my dad. He cried, telling me it would be okay, that he was my warrior, he was my protector, and nothing bad will ever happen to me. When I saw my friends again, they told me the kids weren't disappearing anymore. And for 5 years, I've heard nothing. But one day, I heard the noises again, the horrible noises. I froze. The next day, I met some of my friends, and I told them I was hearing things. They laughed me off. We were sitting in the cafeteria, eating some food and talking and laughing like normal teenagers, until one friend pointed up to the screens. A missing 17-year-old teenager. Everything went black. The kid looked exactly like me. I snapped out of it, only to hear, "The culprit has been found." I ran out while my friends looked at me like I was crazy. They looked terrified. I drove home, only to find cops, cars, SWAT, and news in the front of my door. I didn't care. I parked my car and I ran inside the house. I went up the stairs to where I knew the monster was hiding, but all I found was blood. I connected the dot. The only monster had been my father, and what I thought was the monster in the cupboard were only kids screaming for their lives. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Lola, and I can't sleep. But it goes deeper than that. I tell my family all the time, seeing if they can find a way to help me, but they just don't believe me. It's not even the fact that I can't sleep that bothers me. It's the fact that when everyone in the house is asleep, I see demons, different ones every night. I always cry and try not to look at their faces, but it's hard when you have alternating demons sitting 2 feet away from you every night. Sometimes they ask me to play a game with them. I always ignore them. I've never spoken to any of them. They just keep talking. "Hi, Lola. You want to play a game?" Worst of all, in the most disgusting and horrible voice anyone could ever have. I don't even know how to explain it. I always keep my phone on my bed. I listen to my favorite music and watch my favorite show. I try to close my eyes and pray that I'll fall asleep. But you can probably imagine how difficult it is to distract yourself late at night while you can see a demon staring at you from the corner of your eye. I don't tell my family about demons for 2 reasons. 1, because I'm the oldest. I don't want to scare my younger siblings. And 2, I don't want my parents to think I'm crazy, because I don't want to end up in a mental hospital. One night, I laid down and quickly I fell asleep, before everyone in the house too. Because I saw no demons that night, at least not right behind me or beside me. I had my first dream, after not having any for a very long time. However, instead of having a peaceful sleep and a nice dream, I had the most horrific nightmare I ever had in my life. I was in a dark red room. All the doors were opened, but I couldn't walk through them. In every door, there was the same demon, smiling at me with the widest smile anyone or anything could ever have. There was no way out of the room, just a flight of stairs, very long stairs. Before I could even walk down, I woke up from the nightmare, sobbing, and right next to me, there was the exact same demon I saw in my dream. Without realizing, I screamed while I was still bawling my eyes out. My mom ran into the room, but the demon didn't move. I thought I could finally prove myself to my mom, so I asked her to turn on the lights. "Mom, look, there, do you see it?" "Darling, there is nothing there. Maybe you really haven't been sleeping, I think. You're just going a little crazy." I started sobbing again. Maybe I'm just insane. Maybe there is not even any demons in my bed. "How about you come sleep in Dad's nice room for the rest of the night, for you to calm down a little bit," she said. "Yes, please," I replied. I took my pillow and followed my mom to the room. The more I walked away, the more the demon turned its head, watching me. The next night came by, and my mom told me that I had to sleep in my room again. When I slept in my parents' room, it's the first time I've slept peacefully in over a year. I begged her to let me sleep in her room one more night, but she told me no. I sighed, preparing myself for a new demon to watch me tonight. I laid down in my bed, watching my door, waiting for the demon to come and talk to me. Then my door crackled open, but it was the same demon from last night. This is like a never-ending loop, and I can't get out. "Hi, Lola. You want to play a game?" the demon said. "Well, if it's in my imagination, what if I say yes? What if I play the game?" I took a long, deep breath and I said, "Yeah, I want to play a game."